All right, thank you, Eleni, and thank you to all the media for tuning in today. We really appreciate the fact that you guys have been covering us in these unique times. My name is Tim Butler. I'm state representative from the 87th district. I live in Springfield, in the capital city. I'm the legislator who lives closest to the capital itself. I have Sangamon, Logan, Tazewell, and Menard counties in the district that I represent right here in the middle of the state. We're here today to talk about the fact that the General Assembly is finally returning to session. The House Republican Caucus for weeks has called on the governor and the speaker to bring the General Assembly back into session. We believe there are lots of things that we need to take care of to address the COVID-19 pandemic for the health of our citizens, for the health of our economy. There's plenty of stuff that we can be talking about. I looked this morning. I believe there are 15 legislatures across the country that have come back into session since COVID started. So we're behind the curve when it comes to some of our colleagues. Given all the facilities across the capital city, and we've been talking about this for weeks here locally, there's plenty of opportunity, plenty of facilities to be able to safely bring us back into session. And that's what we're going to be doing, like the Bank of Springfield Center, where the House will be meeting. There's no reason why this should have taken so long. We're a co-equal branch of government. We can convene in a safe manner. I know we can. I've talked to a lot of our local officials about the fact that everyone's going to be coming back here, and we'll do it in a safe manner. Most importantly, I think us going back into session really allows us to do the process in a transparent public setting that has not been the case over the last couple months. We've had 14 working groups in the House that have done their work behind the scenes without public input, without the media being able to see those working groups. Now that we go back into session, the media can see what's going on, the public can see what's going on. We can have these debates in a public setting through the committee process and on the floor of the House of Representatives, and that's the way it should be. We've been working through meetings through Zoom and conference calls and so on, things like that, which have helped us, but it's certainly not the way that the legislature should do its business all the time. We need to be transparent. We need to have a public process, and that's what's going to happen when we come back in session next week. With that, I will turn it over to my fellow Sangamon County colleague, Representative Mike Murphy.
Thank you very much, Tim. I'm Mike Murphy, state representative in the 99th district. My district covers the southern and western parts of Springfield and 8 small communities in Sangamon County. As Tim referenced, it shouldn't have taken this long for the General Assembly to finally be called into session to address the unintended consequences of the one-size-fits-all approach that has been devastating for families and small businesses across central Illinois during this pandemic. In April, the BOS Center contacted myself and Representative Butler about making their facility available to the state as an alternative setting to allow for safe social distancing environment. And I'm pleased that offer has finally been taken up. Now it's time to get to work. The governor's Restore Illinois plan doesn't allow for nearly enough direct input from informed local officials to be part of the decision-making process. Fortunately, he recently said that he is open to direct local input for the path forward to safely and regionally reopen our state. I hope he stands by that and allows recommendations that comes out of the General Assembly to be incorporated in a more targeted regional plan that prioritizes the safety and economic recovery suggestions of local experts. Numerous small businesses of all types, like local independent restaurants, have been working closely with public health professionals to ensure customer safety measures are in place so they can open more quickly and return to providing services and jobs and still provide a safe environment. These businesses deserve the same opportunity to safely operate that big box stores have been given. Local leaders, families, and small businesses from across the state have been crying out for this, and I believe we can come to a consensus to more quickly facilitate the safe reopening of restaurants and other small businesses that are still held back by the governor's plan. I will now turn it over to Representative Avery Bourne.
Thank you, Representative. We're having a few internet issues, so bear with me here in rural Illinois. I'm Avery Bourne. I represent the 95th district, which includes the counties just south of Sangamon. As Representative Murphy talked about specific changes that small businesses are wanting, and Representative Butler talked about the input that we see going back into legislative session, it's important to note that these are specific input. This is specific input legislators are asking as a co-equal branch.
I think we have a frozen Avery. CD, do you want to jump in? And then we can get back to Avery.
Yeah, while Avery's internet's having some issues, you know, one of the things that we've been trying to get from the governor for quite some time is data. You know, we keep hearing the governor talk about science and basing everything on science and science this, which we agree. You know, we want to base things on facts. The issue that we are having as a co-equal branch of government is we do not have access to that data. We have been requesting any information that the governor's using to make his decisions. We've been requesting to speak with the governor's director of public health, which he has said no. We have requested to speak with the epidemiologist, which he has said no. His answer is listen to my press conferences. In fact, we've sent numerous requests. Many members and our as well as our caucus has sent requests for information to the different departments. I have yet to receive any response to my requests. So I am prepared today to send out FOIA requests, which is a Freedom of Information Act request, which gives the department 7 business days, I believe, to respond to my questions. I expect to receive some real information, some real factual information, because right now I question whether we are basing our decisions on science or whether there's some consultant somewhere that's making decisions for the governor. I don't know. I know that consultants have been hired by the governor, but I'm waiting to see in what capacity these outside groups are making decisions as opposed to the epidemiologists and the scientists that he claims he's making his decisions from. So as we move forward, I want to make sure that we do this in a safe way. I think that the governor continues to mislead people to say that we want to just swing doors wide open. That's not what we're asking for. We are asking for a way to start opening the economy so that businesses can slowly and responsibly do this. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that a business will have to swing their doors wide open and have to do what they have to do to survive. We want this done responsibly, and that is the most important thing. The governor cannot mislead everybody on this forever. The fact remains, we want to do this responsibly, and in order to do that, we have to start now. Thank you.
Avery, since you are back, did you want to try to jump in for a second here?
Yeah, I will just briefly say that a member of the House Democrats this week has said that he doubts that the House will take up any measure that limits the governor's authority on this. And that's disappointing. This isn't a partisan call. There have been downstate Democrats. There have been local officials from across the state who have called for both local input, legislative input, a change to these regions, a quickening safely of the governor's plan, and for the governor to dismiss any suggested changes to his plan as irresponsible or wanting to immediately open the economy, I think is wrong. This is a bipartisan push from across the state that legislative leaders and legislative members have real input into what this plan looks like. And that's really our role as the legislature, is to have that kind of input.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. So we're going to open it